Hey guys, Nova Joe here, and today I wanted to start another new series with EDF World Brothers, and that is a weapon overview series. And today I'm going to start by showing off one of my favorite weapons in this game, and then explaining one of the awesome tactics that you can use this weapon for that is very overpowering to airborne enemies as well as ground-based enemies. So, we're going to be taking a look at the FORK-2B. Now, the FORK-2B is a level 3 weapon. And this weapon does 7,815 points of damage. It fires one shot per reload. But that one shot can lock on to 15 targets. So it basically fires 15 missiles with each shot. Now, what is awesome about this weapon is that while it fires off 15 missiles and can lock on to 15 targets, if you don't have 15 targets, and say you have 3 targets that you've locked onto when you fire, it will take those 15 missiles and divide them by 3 based on how many targets you're locked onto. So you can send 5 missiles to each one of those targets. If you're fighting a boss, it sends all 15 missiles for a quick 7,800 points of damage directly at the boss. Now, what is great about this is there is no lock-on time. So as soon as you pull the trigger, it instantly locks onto the enemies that are right there in your vicinity. Has a very nice range on it of 260 meters. But as I'm going to show you in the video here of gameplay, there is an awesome tactic you can use, and that is to equip 3 of your characters with the FORK-2B. Now, the reason for this is because if you'll look back here at the reload time, it has a 3.5 second reload time. So it takes it a moment to reload between firing off. However, if you have 3 characters equipped with it, and here's the trick. As you're switching between each character will fire off their 15 rockets. But here's what's really neat. All you gotta do is just keep your finger held down on the trigger. You don't have to pull the trigger repeatedly. Just hold your finger down on the trigger and switch between your 3 characters. So you'll fire off with the aerator, keep your finger held on the trigger, push over to the heavy striker, it'll fire off, keep your finger on the trigger, and push over to the jet trooper here, and then it'll fire off. Now, what is great about this tactic is because once you have fired off that 3rd character, the 1st character will either be almost completely reloaded or reloaded based on how quickly you have fired. So you can send out an endless barrage of these homing missiles. And like I said, based on the number of enemies that you have in your sight, you can be barraging an enemy with a ton of destructive firepower in mere moments, and it's infinite. You can just keep doing it over and over and over and over again. And so, as I said, you can do it on a boss, and so within a moment of like a second and a half, you can have fired off 20-some thousand points of damage to him with no reload, and just keep doing it repeatedly in just this endless loop. And as you'll see, this works wonderful against airborne enemies as well as ground-based enemies. But with ground-based enemies, you have to take into consideration buildings and trees and things like that, and you will suffer splash damage if they explode around you. But if you are firing off in a nice open area or firing off at airborne enemies, you are raining destruction. So, enough of my talk. Let me just show this to you in action. Let's go ahead and take a look at this mission. Well, we won't be playing mission 52. I'll be showing you, I believe, mission 45. But it is awesome. And I'm playing on hard. I don't have the other difficulties unlocked on the English version yet, but this works on hardest and on Inferno as well, and it's very effective on both. Alright guys, let's go ahead and take a look at this. Alright guys, this is actually mission 45 on hardest. And I picked hardest here because I want to show you just how effective this level 3 FORK-2B is with this tactic of switching, firing one, then firing the next one. Here we go, fire, fire, fire. Just keep doing this repeatedly, and you have an instant and infinite barrage of missiles. And like I said earlier, when you're firing these, it will lock on up to 15, but if you only have a few enemies in your sight, it will divide those 15 missiles up based on how many enemies you're locked onto. So here we go, got the Sideros over here. And this is just as effective on them. Just one right after the other. There's a slight delay as the third guy is not fully reloaded, but he's close to being reloaded. Now, if you put 4 people with this weapon, you would not have any reload delay at all, and it would just be a constant, like I said, barrage of blasting enemies. So it's a very effective tactic against airborne enemies, and pretty effective tactic against ground-based enemies. So here we go, got another one enemy. Now look, all 15 missiles are going right towards that enemy. So within a matter of about a second and a half, you are firing 45 missiles at him all at once. And look, he's dead. Now, something else I want to mention is that I've noticed, and I could be wrong about this, but it seems like as you're switching characters, kind of like when that flash takes place, that there's like a frame of invulnerability, basically meaning that if you get hit while you're switching characters, you won't take any damage. If you notice, I just had that happen just now. The enemies right here threw some kind of like energy wave at me, and as I was switching, the energy wave just went right straight through me, didn't even hit me. So these praying mantis creatures here weren't even able to hit me. And look at this, this is just beating them down. And like I said, this is on hardest. And this also works on Inferno. Oh, just got killed. So, see, it's not perfect. It doesn't do it all the time. You can't do it, or it doesn't do the invulnerability all the time. But it does do it on occasion. It is very, very helpful. Let's get out of here before that thing blows me up. So, alright guys, this is the FORK-2B. And as I said, I just wanted you all to see just how potent this setup is. This missile launcher is a true beast and is absolutely excellent to use against airborne enemies as well as ground-based enemies, and can, in effect, give you infinite firepower. See, I tried to do it, but I didn't time it just right. And go! See? There it goes. I did it. I managed to do it. If you hit it if you switch characters right as it's about to hit you, basically the attack will go right through you. Alright guys, I hope you have enjoyed this video. I hope this tactic will help you all as some of you are still working your way through Inferno. And this will just make farming some of these missions a lot easier and help you to get through them without having too much trouble. Alright guys, I hope you've enjoyed this video, and if you have, please give it a like, and if you're new to the channel and like what you're seeing, please subscribe. I'd love to have you on board with the other EDF crew. I like to put out videos at least once, twice a week, and hopefully these videos will help you guys to better be able to get through the game without too much difficulty and a whole lot of fun. Alright guys, as always, take care, God bless, and keep on gaming.